Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Drawn Together movie, the movie is the worst thing that I have ever seen. I'm not kidding when I say that. Currently, this is the worst animated movie I have ever seen in my life. Yes, it is worse than Rhapsody Street Kid.
You just got to it.
Isn't that what Santa does? It was from my heart.
Now, this is a film based on a terrible animated series that actually had a good concept of combining characters from all different types of animated programs living within a singular household, but it ended because it was fucking shit. I hated the show. It's not good. But there are people that actually like it, though. So it was at least decently respected, unlike a lot of the other bad animated Comedy Central shows out there. But anyway, so if we basically talk about this movie, it literally just exists to make painful references to everything, because that actually thinks that it's joke and reference, and, you know, that doesn't equal funny, because this is intended to be a comedy movie, but the things that it specifically passes off as jokes in this movie are not jokes, and they're things that nobody would ever want to see. So if we start out the movie, it shows Toot, one of the characters from the show, drinking and smoking while in bedrock, and then another character from the show, Foxy Love, shows up and is just randomly there, and they're like, shit, we gotta get out of here, and then they blow up a dinosaur's ass. And then we cut to a few months earlier of the producer of the show like, oh hey, can you fucking murder some kittens and puppies with heels? And then the producer masturbates to them. And keep in mind, this entire movie is shock humor. And if you're trying to shock us, why wouldn't you actually show the animals getting murdered, and not just the blood from downward like the film specifically presents? Not that I want to see that, but that's what you would specifically expect from this type of joke and from this type of show. And then a bunch of nothing happens, and then Foxy discovers they can say or do whatever they want. So Woodler, like a character which is a parody of SpongeBob, whips out his penis, which I'm not going to show you, but it's like some live-action Photoshop, so someone's penis is in this movie. I'm not fucking kidding. Like some anonymous person's penis is in this movie. But then we see some more characters doing nothing, like Xander. The joke is that he's gay. That's the entire joke. Well, wasn't it funny that he's a homosexual? Really top tier humor. You got you guys. And Captain Hero. His joke is that he's dating a corpse, in which we get a backstory for it, in which he purposely shows up at a funeral, not because there was a mistaken distress call or anything. He purposely shows up at a funeral, and then there's a grieving family, and he just takes the corpse out of the casket. Like, what the fuck? But then, the Drawn Together gang finds out that their show was canceled, obviously parodying the fact that it had been canceled for years in real life. And then, because this is a direct-to-DVD movie, and implying that it's not specifically airing on television, they could say whatever they want, because the broadcasting network isn't going to limit to what they show in, say, within the specific program. But then, anyway, so the boss of Drawn Together decides that he needs to bring out his machine, voiced by Seth MacFarlane, Israel, which every line of dialogue is just a stupid or offensive joke that is not funny. Drawn Together gang finds out that the show was replaced by the, Suck My Taint show, and then their house gets blown up, and then they go to Princess Claire's kingdom, in which the princess impersonating her exposes her genitals to everyone, which also, again, I'm not going to show. And then everyone in prison, and then so we cut to the Suck My Taint show, a poor parody of South Park, an animated show on Comedy Central that the people that made Drawn Together probably tried to copy, but South Park still succeeded, and is not only still on the air, but is still good on season 22 because of the specific people behind it. And I know that's a debatable statement if the show's still good or not, but the reason why I think South Park still succeeds, even at its worst, is that there's always a point to what they are saying, unlike Drawn Together and Family Guy and Sausage Party and the Ren and Stimpy Adult Party cartoon and the Nut Shack and like almost every Adult Swim show that has failed. And anyway, Princess Clara gets her limbs like fucking chopped off. But then we get to one of the worst scenes in animation. So they get trapped in a carriage underwater and they don't know what to do. So what do they decide to do? Oh, well, they decide to turn on the director's commentary for the movie. So the director's commentary for the movie is part of the plot of this film. Like, if I wanted to listen to the director's commentary for the movie, then I would just listen to the director's commentary for the movie, not purposely have it in the film. Plus, they just flat out admit that they made this because it's a lazy piece of shit they only made to get paid. And then we cut back to the SMT girl. I'm just gonna call that so I don't get this video taken down, but anyway, she tells them that they have to go to Make a Point Land, where they can receive a point from the Point Lizard. Okay, then we cut back to Bedrock, in which is the reinterpretation of the opening scene, but it's barely a reinterpretation of what you're specifically trying to display. You're trying to display it, but with difference, but the differences are extremely minor. There's almost no difference. Most of the stuff is honestly reused. Like, let's compare South Park, which I'm going to do a lot in this video, but there's an episode where they reenact the first episode, but they don't use the actual clip of the first episode. They reenact it with the newer technology, and you can obviously see that. But this scene, there's a ton of reused animation, which makes sense. Yeah, it's earlier in the movie, but you would do something different to spice up the visual presentation. So if any of you that are still watching this actually can keep you interested in what the film is specifically presenting. But then, ooh, we get a 3D sex scene, which is literally just porn of this franchise, and it's not specifically used for any humor, though. They literally pause the entire plot and everything for a pointless filler sex scene. Like, if I just wanted to see drawn together porn, I would go on Google and look up drawn together porn. I would not want to watch this. And if you're specifically watching this movie for the porn, you're gonna be horny for a long time, buddy. But then they find the SMT girl, and then they take a rocket made out of corn, literally powered by bullshit. Oh, and then Captain Harold breaks up the corpse and just dumps out of fucking air. And then they get to Make a Point Land, which is just more horrible shock humor. Includes things I'm not gonna show, but I will describe for you, like a fetus tornado, and then a T-Rex with a boner, and a monster that eats its own shit. You know, like, what the fuck? Like, upon you. Oh, and then we get to the climax with every antagonist in the movie, and then Toot is back, and then she shits out Bam Bam. But it doesn't make sense, because, yes, it was established that she's fucking Barney Rubble, but Bam Bam is Betty's child as well, and it was the combination of both, so that makes zero sense. Oh, and then the building blows up, and then they get saved by the monster that eats its own shit, and oh god! It's over. It's over. The movie is over. It's over. I'm finally done watching this. Like, this movie is so bad. Like, outright, fuck this movie. It does not understand anything about storytelling. Story's lazy. The animation is terrible. Looks like shit. The humor is the absolute worst in any film ever. It just specifically tries to shock you, but nothing of it has a point. It's always disgusting, and it crosses my line, which is an incredibly hard line to cross. And I gotta say, that's pretty impressive. It's basically just like the worst of stupid Family Guy jokes stretched out for an hour and 20 minutes. Like, I'm not even kidding. Like I said, fuck this movie, and I'm Dr. Drxhenry, and I'm signing off.